YouTube? Welcome back to Universe X. And yep, that's right. Crazy. In a singular week, there have been 2 Dragon Ball drops. Like I said, I'm going to be rotating the games. You're always going to get One Piece Dragon Ball Battle Spirits, One Piece Dragon Ball Battle Spirits, unless there needs to be a double drop for the day due to breaking news. So get used to it. This is my new rhythm. I also stream on Twitch almost every Monday through Friday, as long as I can. We're constantly evolving here, and we're going to become better and better until we are one of your best, most fond places to get TCG/gaming content across my different platforms. So with that being said, I also want to direct you guys to the description. I have my links in the description all in one consolidated place now, Linktree, and there you could find my other channels, my Twitch, the Discord, my affiliate links for TCG Player if you want to buy singles while helping me out directly, my discounts for Mystic TCG if you want to buy products, sell singles, things like that. There's a lot going on here, and we are doing it bigger and better than before. Past that, just wanted to say that if you were so inclined, there are lots of free ways you can help as well. You can always just like the video, help it trend. You can also comment on the video, that'd be great. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the UniX fam, and hit those notifications so that you never miss a beat. So with that being said, let's hop into the video. It's going to be Yellow Swap Frieza from Zenkai 04. This is just so far looking to be an amazing archetype. Lots of synergy with old cards, as well as great synergy within the set that they're being dropped in. This is definitely, I think, going to be a banger with all the Yellow Frieza's army support that's already in the game, and I can't wait to hear your opinions on these cards as I go over them as well. So let's hop into it. So let's jump right into it. First, we're going to start with the leader card. You've got Frieza. It is yellow and permanent. Reduce the skill cost of swap on your yellow Frieza cards by 1 yellow. Auto, when you have 2 or more energy, when you activate swap on one of your yellow Frieza cards, you may flip this card to its backside if you do draw 2 cards, and then add cards from your life to your hand until you're at 6. Once per turn, you can, as an activate main, you can look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 Return of the Army of Terror to your hand, or a yellow Frieza, and then you shuffle your deck. And then it's got the normal at 4 Awakening, draw 1, untap 1. So before we even get to the backside, there's a lot going on with this card, and it's actually insane to see how much this card does on its front alone. Reducing the swap cost by 1 is a great effect, because not only is it going to make your deck smoother, but it means that you can start making these cards able to be played in other Frieza decks, but just make it better to be played with this deck. I cannot stress how good of a design point that is, that you make cards more able to be played in the correct leaders without fully leader locking them. Next, it's cool that when you swap, you can flip over. That's actually just really, really great. And then the other thing is, it's not super restrictive on the search effect either. Generally, I like it that the leaders can draw more than search. I feel like it's just more advantage you can get per turn, but this is going to be able to get one of the better extra cards of the deck, or you're going to be able to get a Frieza. And since it says yellow Frieza, there's a lot of Friezas you can get. It's actually insane, because a lot of Frieza's army cards are indeed in yellow, from the Namek Saga, from the Revival F, from even the TOP. So yeah, this is going to search a lot of stuff. So let's look at the backside now. You've got Frieza, the Emperor who swore revenge. You're going to keep the reduction of the cost of swap for yellow Frieza cards by 1 yellow. Auto, once per turn, when you activate swap, draw a card. This is going to be a very powerful effect because it's still a +1. You're going to be taking a card from the field to your hand, playing a card, drawing a card. Cool. Auto, once per turn, one of your yellow Frieza cards with swap and an energy cost of 3 or more attacks. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Use up to 1 yellow Frieza's army in a combo with the skills negated for the turn, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So this leader is going to +2 as long as you are swinging with a swap card, with a Frieza swap card with 3 or more, and that's actually wonderful. And the fact that you're going to be able to auto once per turn when you activate swap, draw a card, means that you could swing with a swap target, search your top 3, and then draw. Or you can activate swap to draw 1 and then swing with it to search your top 3 if you're digging for a specific card that has a yellow in Frieza's army. So I definitely dig that. Next, we're going to move over to the Z Awaken. You've got Golden Frieza, Shining Emperor. Z Awaken when your life is at 4 or less. Frieza, Emperor who swore revenge. Okay, so easy. Z Stack 1, yellow Frieza's army with an energy cost of 1. Okay, so you're gonna put 1 under him. Permanent, you're going to reduce the skill cost of swap on your yellow Frieza cards by like actually 3, essentially 1 specified yellow and 2 just energy in general. This is going to make them essentially free. You're going to see that later. Auto, when this card is placed in your leader area, when this card is placed in your leader area, draw 1 card, then remove this card from the game at the end of your opponent's turn. Meaning that for this turn and your opponent's turn, you have a 20k leader. Could be excellent for defending yourself or putting some more pressure on, but you're also drawing 1 just for playing them. The other thing here is auto, when your yellow Frieza with a energy cost of 5 or more attacks, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck and use 1 yellow Frieza's army in a combo with the skills negated for the turn, and then place the remaining card at the bottom of your deck. So essentially what you're getting is a bigger discount on your swaps, a bigger body for your turn and your opponent's turn, and then you're also getting an extra card in hand. So that's a nice little bump. It's quick, it's easy, and it happens in a tight, confined space, much like his golden transformation in the movie. That's where the lore comes from. The other part I like is that this leader and its Z leader are going to generate their own Z energy. Every time you swing, you're pulling out 1 card out of your deck, and then you're going to be able to turn it into Z energy if you so choose. So yeah, between this, you're going to be going through your deck a lot, taking out the pieces that you don't need at the moment to turn them into Z energy, and I dig that a lot. Next, we're going to go over to, you got Frieza, Bitter Scream. This is actually going to be the 1-drop, deflect, barrier, swap 3 for 1 yellow. So with this leader, it's going to be able to swap for free. That is insane. Auto, if your leader is a yellow Frieza, when this card is played, you may add 1 yellow Frieza with swap from your Z energy to your hand. If you do, add 1 card from your hand to your Z energy. So you've got a little bit of swapping here, but the way this card works, you can swing with your leader. Look at the top 5 cards, and swing with your leader when you are currently like awakened, and then you'll be able to combo with the Frieza's army and put in your Z energy. Then you could actually swap with this card, and then play this card, and then you can fish out of your Z energy. So it's toolboxing. There's going to be a really cool cycle where you get to pull from deck into your Z energy, pull from your Z energy into your hand, and that's just more cards seen. You're gonna have to see it in action, which I will do eventually on Discord to kind of see how that pans out, but you're gonna be able to see a whole lot of cards with this deck. And then the deflect barrier on the 1-drop actually means this thing can actually stick to the field a fair amount. Next, you've got Sorbet, Devoted Support. This is a counterattack 2 cost. Limit 1, negate the attack, and play this card. Okay. Permanent, if your leader card is a yellow Frieza Z leader, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. Easy. And then activate battle once per turn. Choose up to 1 of your yellow Frieza cards with swap, and that card gets plus 5k power for the turn. No protection, so you do have to pay 2 for this, and then it's going to come down. But some of your swaps are free to near free, so you should have the energy to defensively put this up. And if this does survive, you will be able to protect some of your swap pieces a bit easier because of the power boost. Next, we got Sorbet, Pursuing Deepest Desires. Another 2 costs. Auto, limit 1. When one of your yellow Frieza cards with swap is removed from your battle area by opponent's skill, play this card from your hand. Auto, when this card is played, play up to 1 yellow Frieza with an energy cost of 1 and swap from your drop. The craziest part about this is that you are going to be able to potentially, reset your chains with this for free. He's also a Frieza's army that can go into your Z energy, but he's also a call target, a Frieza's call target. So if you ever need to reestablish your chain for one energy, you're going to be able to play this from your deck with Frieza's call, and then just bring back the chain to the board. And then, of course, since the skills aren't negated, you're going to be able to do things like get Frieza's Bitter Scream's effect off. Well, that's just really cool. I love the circles. Next, we're moving on to Shisami, Pursuing Deepest Desires, just super combo. Again, generic so that we can have something near in draft. But he's also Frieza's army, and he's a 2 cost. So don't ever forget that. That's Frieza's call target. There's a lot of good things he can do. Next, we'll start looking at our swap targets. We're going to get Frieza, Overflowing with Confidence. This is a 3 cost, 19k power, very good stats. Swap 5, yellow, which means he's going to cost 1 yellow when he's being played in this deck to swap. And you're going to go into a 5 cost. Auto, limit 1, when this card attacks, you're going to look at the top 3 cards from your deck and then you use up to one of your yellow Frieza's army with the skills negated for the turn in a combo. So between this and your leader, you're pulling 2 Frieza's armies out of your deck, and then as long as you don't whiff, and then you are going to be able to make 2 Z energy. So this deck is going to be speeding through cards. Next card, another 3-drop Frieza swap target. Frieza, Cold-Hearted Behavior. Once again, same cost for swapping into 5, meaning it's going to be a 1 in this deck. Auto, limit 1. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and if that card has an energy cost of 4 or less, KO that card. This is an amazing card. It's very simple, it's very straight to the point, but there's a lot of things this can hit, and that's just enough said. There's like cheap 4-drops that come down, cough cough, Dread Destroyer, that this can just like get in the way of. It's just a really, really, really solid card. Moving into the next one, Tagoma, Pursuing Deepest Desires. Auto, limit 1, yellow. If your leader card has a yellow Frieza, when your life is placed in your drop, play this card from your hand. Activate main, once per turn, choose up to one of your yellow Frieza cards. This card gains plus 5,000 power for the turn. So this is actually pretty interesting as well. This can be played in this deck, but just if your leader's yellow Frieza and your life is placed in your drop, this can actually go into, I believe, the old flip Frieza. This has a lot of little uses, but it's just a yellow Frieza's army, and it's a booster. This, I don't see this necessarily being played the most, but it's still there. Next, we're going to move on to the 5 costs. We got Frieza, Waiting to See. Barrier, Blocker, you love to see it. Swap into 8 for yellow, and then yellow 2, meaning this is going to cost yellow 2. So 3 to swap into on your leader's Awaken and Unawaken side, but he's going to cost literally just 1 yellow on your Z Awaken side. So if you have 4 more energy, yellow Frieza with energy cost of 8, cool. Auto, limit 1. If you have 3 or more energy, when this card is played by swap, this card gains dual attack for the turn. Very nice. It's already 20k. Auto, once per turn, when your opponent plays a battle card, or plays battle cards, choose up to one of those cards and negate the card skill for the turn. This is an on-play final flash as long as your opponent or what's it called? I forgot the card with Lord Slug on it. But this is actually really, really, really cool. This is, as long as it doesn't have barrier, this is going to work, and not even deflect helps it because this isn't a counter skill. This is just a once per turn trigger upon play. So this is going to be a card that you have to play around, often removing it if you can, but because it's got barrier and it's a 20k, that's not going to be necessarily the easiest thing. So yeah, this is actually a very, very strong card, and I'm excited to see this Frieza deck shaping up. Like, I did not expect this to come out of the woodworks like this. Next, we're moving on to Frieza, Limitless Raw Power. Another swap 8 for the same cost, same condition. Auto, limit 1. When this card is played by swap, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, switch it to rest mode, and this card cannot be removed from your barrier by your opponent's skills until the end of your opponent's turn. Pretty much making it immune to anything but minus counters. Sorry, I said minus because I'm kind of used to Magic when I talk about minus counters, but yeah, this makes it incredibly sticky. Only thing they'll get rid of this is reducing its attack to 0. Then it says, additionally, if you have 3 more energy, this card gains double strike for the turn, and that's going to make it a 20k double strike. So you got a dual attacker and a double striker between those 2 Friezas, and that is cool. Now we're going to move over to the top ends of this deck. And there are going to be some top ends that come outside of this deck, but I'm just talking about the ones that come here. So you got Golden Frieza, Evolved Emperor, Deflect, Double Strike, and Dual Attack. Oops. No, I want to move back. Before we skip over to that, we're going to go to SSB Son Goku versus Golden Frieza Spirit Clash. This is a 5 cost, and this is the one that was also showcased in my video about the Super Saiyan Blues, because this is a card that can be used by both. You got the swap 8, and it has the same condition, so it can go into the A-drop as well. Auto, limit 1. When this card is played, draw a card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO it. And then activate main. Yellow, choose up to one of your yellow Saiyans or Frieza army cards, play this card from your Z energy, and add this chosen card to your Z. Add the chosen card to your Z energy. So that's pretty cool. You have a way to play this from your Z energy, and you have many ways to take this out of your deck with these effects and leave it in your Z energy. Activate main, limit 1. If you have 3 or more energy and you remove this card from the game, play up to 1 yellow Son Goku or Frieza energy cost of 2 or less from your hand or drop. This can reset your swap chain. This can do a lot of things. There are some other Frieza cards that we can also bring into consideration once we make the demo video for this deck. I once again love that this can be played in both the yellow decks for this set. Now we're going to move on to Golden Frieza Evolved Emperor. Deflect, Double Strike, Dual Attack. Permanent. If this card would leave the battle area, add this card to your Z energy instead, meaning that you can cycle it back to your hand to swap for later due to the mechanics of this deck. Auto, when this card is played, choose up to all of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, KO them, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. So this is insane. Yellow is great at resting cards, and if you catch your opponent after a very strong swinging turn or a turn that they tried to push through riposte or Vegito, you can really get them hard. By playing this card and then pause. Yeah, by playing this card and then just actually blowing up their entire board. So activate main, limit 1. If your leader is a yellow Frieza and your opponent has 2 or more energy, you can remove this card from your Z energy and the top 5 cards from your deck from the game. Play up to 1 yellow Frieza with an energy cost of 1 and swap from your hand. So this is actually also cool because you're going to be able to restart your chain by removing this card from your Z energy and your top 5 cards. It's a little bit of a hefty cost because you don't know what's in those cards. You can, the late game, you probably already have your SCR, you probably have a lot of cards mapped out, so you can kind of take that educated guess on risk versus reward. But it's actually really cool that you can reset your chain, because that's one of the main things about swap that always got hard. Can you reset your chain after you get blown out? And this deck has multiple ways to reestablish. Now, the last card we're going to talk about is Return of the Army of Terror, and it's a new extra card. More importantly, it's a 0-cost extra card, meaning riposte will be easier to set up than ever. Between Return of the Army of Terror and Frieza's Call, riposte will have no problem being live on just literally just on point. And the fact that this is not a limit 1, so it's much like Assimilate for Namekians. You literally just play this card twice if you open it twice, and Mecha is live from that turn on. So this is going to be crazy. But activate main, add 1 yellow Frieza with swap energy cost of 5 or less from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck. Activate battle, limit 1 if your leader card is a Frieza Emperor who swore revenge or a yellow Frieza Z leader and your life is at 4 or less. Choose up to 1 of your yellow Frieza cards, and this card gains plus 5,000 power for the turn. Smooches. Great, easy, enables so many cards such as Frieza, and really, this is just amazing. And it's also an SR. We haven't had an SR extra card in a little bit. I mean, I know we have, but this just looks really, really good. So I'm happy for all the art, and honestly, I think this deck is going to be one of the most fun ways to play yellow in a while that we've had. So yeah, we're gonna definitely be happy to do the demo when that comes around. And until then, I hope you guys enjoy more content, whether it's Dragon Ball here, Battle Spirits, or One Piece. I do it all on this channel. And yeah, we're gonna move over into a message from Mystic TCG, and that's just the best place I know of to buy sealed product online. I've got a discount code on my link tree, which you should check out in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for dropping by. Later. Is exactly what I would say if we were done with all the cards. Yeah, that was totally on purpose. I wanted to fake you out to see if you guys were paying attention. The last and final card we have in this is Sorbet Emperor Subject. So you got Unique. He's a 1-cost, 1 Z energy, but he goes underneath your Z leader when you hit the underneath your leader when you hit the Z stack. And this is when you place 2 of your energy into your drop. When one of your opponent's battle cards is played by a skill, play this card from under one of your Z leaders, and then you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less and switch it to rest mode. Auto, when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, add up to 1 of Return of the Army of Terror to your hand, shuffle your deck, and if you added a card to your hand, discard 1 card from your hand. So the important part is that on your turn that you Z Awaken and you put this card underneath your leader, you're going to be able to have another layer of insurance, because unless the card has a barrier on it and is bigger than a 7-drop, this is going to come out when your opponent plays a card by dropping 2 Z energy, which you should have an abundance of, and you're going to be able to turn something sideways, getting rid of one of the threats that could have potentially swung at your face. So this is pretty cool. He's also going to be able to potentially reset your chain as well by being able to look at the top 5 cards of your deck for a Return of the Army of Terror and then shuffling it. You do have to discard a card, so it's not just a +1, because you already technically got this card for free, but hey, it is what it is. Now, we're done with all the spoilers for this particular archetype, and we will move on to the message from Mystic TCG. See you guys. So let's talk about Mystic TCG, your one-stop shop for all your TCG needs. On the site, you can buy or pre-order plenty of sealed product for plenty of games. Just make sure though, if you're pre-ordering, to give it 3 to 4 months in advance to start looking, because sometimes the product is indeed hot, supply and demand, you know? And then if you want to buy singles, go on tcgplayer.com. There's going to be a link in the description where you can buy for the best value. And if you want to sell cards or collections, you can message them on their Facebook site so you can get the best bang for your buck on any type of way you want to buy or sell cards. And then while you're at it, you can use the code UNIXTCG at checkout to get even more of a discount. So hey, what are you waiting for? Check out Mystic TCG today.